Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, hi, my name is Quest Solutions, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing all the tea about how much my family and I spend living in Canada as new immigrants. If you're interested in all the good stuff, then definitely keep watching. So I think that after like the ease of the lockdown and all of that, there's been a recent rise in people's hopes and expectations about moving and coming to Canada again, because I know that was like it slowed down for a bit, but with the new like rules and then places opening up, the hopes of immigration for people, Nigerians, Indians, everybody around the world who cares to come to Canada has kind of increased. So I'm like, this would be a good time to put out the video. And I did do a relocation series, and everybody was like, oh, a lot of people, oh, you didn't touch on the finances. And I'm like, everything you need to know is on the IRCC website. But people wanted to know like more personal stuff, and that's fine. I feel like I'll share that later in another video, how much is too much to share or something like that. But personally, I feel like I see you guys as a community already. I know that like I'm not ignorant that it's not everybody subscribed or following me or watches me that is like, oh, a great fan, but I still see the bulk of you guys as like a community, as a family, and I'm so thankful for you. I cannot say or emphasize that enough, so I'm like, okay, let me share the tea about our living expenses and all the good stuff. Maybe someone will find it very valuable. And also let me also just lay a bit of foundation. We're a family of 3, my husband, myself, and my daughter who is 2 years old. We moved to Canada in February of 2021, and we currently live in Mississauga, Ontario. So the first thing on the list is our rent. Yep. Even if you are like buying a house here, except you like pay cash down for your house, you still have to pay your mortgage or your rent. So at every point in time, there is a monthly commitment out of your finances that go into the roof over your head. And for us, we are still renting, but when we came in February, we stayed in a 1-bedroom for 3 months. So we stayed there February, March, and April, and then we moved to a bigger space, 2-bedroom and a den, in May of 2021, right? So obviously the rent here is more expensive, and this place is also closer to Toronto. So rent currently is 2,400. Where we're staying in Hamilton, it was 1,000. I don't have the figure but here I know it. So currently here we pay 2,400 for rent, and that also includes every bill. So once we pay the 2,400, we're not paying for water, hydro, parking, whatever. Everything is included in the 2,400. Now some might say that that's a good deal, others might say that well, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like I've come to terms with the fact that in this life there will always be people who will get better deals than you, and there will always be people who you get better deals than. Like, just do what you have to do and move on. I can't say we're desperate when we got here, but I was actually very tired of the small space we're in, and we actually had to leave. So we got this place, really nice scenery. Are there cheaper places in Mississauga? In fact, we saw cheaper spaces. We actually saw another 2-bedroom and a den for 2,002, but the space or the square meter of the apartment wasn't this big, and 2 things were bougie on, or let me say me. Because my husband's bougie is like Tesla level, but two things I'm personally bougie on is the roof over my head and the food I eat. Like, I might not wear the designers every day, I might not like do the best makeup every time, but you see the roof over my head and the food that goes into this body, I don't joke with this. So, and as you can tell, those are the first 2 things that I'll be mentioning. So anyway, I think that's all about rent. Let me just say that there are new immigrants that come into Canada that don't pay as much, either because they live in a like cheaper, I use the word cheaper as in less expensive province, or because maybe they're here, or maybe they live in a basement. Now personally for us, we actually didn't consider living in a basement because we had heard that the cold in the basement was going to be more than, and we came in during winter, so we heard that it's colder living in a basement. Also, because of the kind of work I do, I'm a content creator, I need a lot of light, and I'm aware that the lighting in the basement does not give as much as when you're living in like a condo apartment and things like that. So that's why we actually ruled out basement for my options. But are there nice basements? Oh my god, I saw one recently and it was giving. It was so neat, so clean, and they were paying like 1.8 or something like that for a 2-bed. It didn't have a den, but it's a 2-bed, comfortable, neat and nice. So again, it doesn't mean that this is what you must budget, but if you're looking to live in a fairly comfortable place here, like in the GTA or in like Toronto environs, then I think between 1.5, depending on the size of your family. To be honest, if you're a couple living together and it's just a 1-bed you need, you can even get for like 1.5, 1.4, right? So I would say between 1.5 to like 2.5 is a good range of budget for your rent. And that's on period for the rent for us. Next thing I have here is food plus groceries plus entertainment. Now when I say entertainment, I actually mean like our McDonald's, our pizza. I don't mean like subscriptions. We'll get there. Now I am a cook by nature. If you follow me, not by nature, I'm joking, I'm not a food blogger. In fact, I can say I just enjoy feeding my family. I don't particularly enjoy cooking, but I enjoy knowing that, you know, my daughter is well fed, my husband is well fed. I just love that feeling. And obviously me myself, I also like good food. So we don't eat out as much. In fact, we barely eat out. Yes, we do treat ourselves once in a while to like pizza. Sometimes when I'm like, you know what, my child is tired, we're gonna eat pizza and drink some cold milk. But you know, but for the most part, I would say 90% of the time we're eating my delicacies in the house. So on food plus groceries plus entertainment, our budget or our expense per month is around 1,000 Canadian dollars. And let me say that everything I'm saying is in Canadian dollars because I'm in Canada. This is not US, so it's not USD. You know, now $1,000. Someone's probably like, wow, that's a lot, because I've gotten that a lot. Like when I share this figure with my friends, you know, say, oh, that's a lot, but I don't think it's a lot. Now I know that I'm not settled into the point where, oh, I know that if I want to get the cheaper vegetables, this is where to go. There is a farmer's market in Hamilton, that's where to get cheaper meat. I'm learning those things. But right now, in terms of how much we actually spend, if you look at our weekly grocery shopping, to our African store runs, to what buy meat in bulk, because that's one thing at least I've gotten a hang on. For like 2 months now, I think since second week we moved into this place, I actually ordered meat in bulk. So there's this person who will do like meat sharing. Do you want half of goats? Sorry if you're vegan, excuse us. We love to eat meat in this family. You know, half of whatever, cow leg. And then we saw a farmer's market, like I said. We drove there. It was like quite a drive, but it was worth it because the tribe shaki that I used to complain about, actually it was Koma I was complaining about actually, but I mean I saw shaki that was actually good value for money, so we just kept everything in a deep freezer and we were still using it. So what I did was the figure, which was about $300 or $350, yeah, which we spent on meat in May, I just like divided it into the number of months it's going to last us, right? So I just put that figure on our actual spend and everything still comes to about 1,000. Now on some months it's like $850, on some months it's like 1,002, depending on if, you know, the guy of my house is asking for salmon every single week. Oh, my baby's crying. Oh, you want your mommy? Mommy? Oh yeah, come. Mommy. Yay. Mommy hug. Okay, but mommy's filming, okay? Want to join in?
Johnny?
Okay. Be quiet, okay? Can you be quiet? Can you be quiet? Okay. So I was saying that depending on how much salmon or whatever, like rich people's food, and we are rich. If you don't say it, you don't have it. You know, anyway, depending on how much we choose to darale or just like do anyhow in that month, it usually ranges from like 800 to like 1,200. So I just picked the mean, which is like 1,000, and I think that's pretty fair. Now if you're also like, I legit have a friend who's like, I don't cook much, every day they see bread they will eat and things like that. So if you're not big on food, obviously that budget will be smaller for you. And guess what, there are even larger families, or maybe even in the size of my family, who would be eating like back-to-back things and they would have like, I told you to be quiet. When mommy says no, she means
no.
Good. Anyway, so I was saying that I'm sure that they're like larger families or could they work? Yeah. Get down. Thank you. Bye. You want to go and watch a cartoon?
Oh, I want to watch a cartoon.
Okay, let's go watch a cartoon. Where was I? Anyway, that's okay. That's even enough distraction. But that's all on food. The next thing I'm going to talk about is our telephone bill plus internet. So let me just add both together. Our telephone bill as a couple comes to $100 because we use the network we use actually is 10 gig per month, unlimited calls in the Canada, and it comes to $50 per person per month. And that's basic. Like for the house internet, we actually pay only $65 for that because we got a good deal. The Mbps is actually very fast. It's like giving what you should give, and it's just $65. So because my husband is working from home, I also work from home, but like there's no need to be spending so much on internet. So we actually just do 50-50 on our personal data. The people who spend less, the people who spend more, but we just feel like 10 gig. Actually that 10 gig is even because when we go out, my daughter's tab is connected to one of our phones, or she's using our phones for like her cartoon and stuff like that. So we needed to load up, and it's okay for us. There was actually a time, because guys, for the longest time when I got to Canada, I actually did not have a phone. Can you beat that? Like not a phone, a SIM. Like I didn't get a SIM. I was calling my people on WhatsApp and I was okay with it. For the registrations I had to do, I just put my husband's number, and that's why people still call me on his phone till now. But anyway, I got a phone when we got here. Like that's like 3 months or almost 4 months into living in Canada before I got a SIM. I keep saying a phone. So we didn't change our phones. We're still using the phones we brought from Nigeria because there's nothing wrong with it. And obviously if we had a phone deal, we'll be paying like in the hundreds or 200s every month. So we just thought, you know what, just the SIM deal is fine. The month you don't do it, nobody charges you, but obviously I have to do it, especially because we have a toddler who is always using cartoon on phone every time we go out. So yeah, that's cheap. So both telephone bill and house internet comes to $165. Now the next is the car. My husband is very bougie on car, but I like that he's reasonably bougie, right? Like God bless that man. I'm bougie on house, and I'm also reasonably bougie because if I'm not, I'm like, let's just go and rent a mansion. If you can afford it, we will just blindly go and rent it, right? But everybody's like, okay, this is the level we're at now, let's operate on it. Wisdom is profitable to direct. So right now on our car, we actually pay $356 every month. It is charged, I think, weekly, which comes to about 88 or 89 every week, but at the end of the month it comes to $356 every month on our car. And that's because we financed the car, I think that's what they call it. So we went to carry a car and then we paid an initial deposit, and then you finance it over a period of time. So you're paying small after an initial deposit. And if you don't know, that's like that system is what they actually encourage here, because if you also want to build your credit score maybe towards a later investment or a mortgage, those are the things you actually need to do. So even if you do have the cash, it is not advisable to come in and just go and do cash down. Number one, because you could use your cash for other things, and number two, because how then do you build your credit score? So yeah, we paid $356 on our car, and this is not the Islander, guys. That Islander, it was like maybe we pay $700 or $800 every month. So we now thought to ourselves, but yeah, we should wait. This car can help the size of our family right now. In the future, when we need Islander, we will get it by the grace of God. So yeah. And then obviously once you have a car, attached to it is your car insurance. So we do pay car insurance every month as well, and we pay $190 in car insurance. Now there is a long story behind this car insurance which I will not go into, but if you're going to budget for your insurance, depending on the location you live, location you live, is that even something? I don't know. But depending on where you live, depending on the number of cars you have and things like that, those things, or your driving history and things like that, those things will definitely have an effect on your insurance, and obviously the type of insurance you use. So when we started shopping around for insurance for our car, we go as high as 400 actually, and I was like, for what? We will not have accidents, in the name of Jesus. We're never going to use it. Let's just park the car. I was like, baby, it's not ridiculous. Not in those words, but it didn't give me the look of, are you serious? We cannot park our car. We have to keep shopping. But God bless him, he was able to surf. I think we actually used like an online insurance company, something like that. It was higher than this in the beginning, but ones and twos happened, and then now it's like 190. So if you're going to budget for your insurance, I think between 200 to 300 is a good budget, also depending on where you live in this part of the world, right? Next thing is gas. This is also another constant one. Now, despite the fact that we work from home, we still do family errands, we still go to like our friends, we visit the parks, we go to beaches, we go to like plenty places here and there, especially on my husband's off days. So we only have a budget of $150 actually for our gas, which is actually fuel, petrol, but here we call it gas. So $150. I think that's really good. Obviously, if it was to drive to work every day and back, then it's going to be much more expensive than that. If I was also working outside of the house, it's going to be much more expensive. But for the best part of the week, we actually don't have to like expend any gas, so that's why that's like really low. Now we have household shopping here, and you're probably wondering which one is household shopping after grocery of 1k. Let me land. Household shopping for us is 500. Now this will vary from family to family. For us, it just includes things like the day that I choose to shop for Soteria's books on Amazon, or the day that I choose to buy like a toilet roll. Like, there are things that are not constant, and I will not even call this miscellaneous because we still have miscellaneous here. But there's also like things that are so random we need, but we can't, like, they're not fixed what's it called, items. That's what I call it. They're not fixed, but we do need it. So sometimes it's more than this depending on what we're buying, but for the most part, like $500, that's like okay. Now let me say that this is different from capital projects. There are some capital projects we do, like say when we bought our mattress. I'm going to link that video here, or when we're shopping for a new bed frame, or when we do buy Soteria's cots, or like major things, say we want to change the furniture in our living room very soon, things like that. Those are like major ones. For those, we actually just pull from our savings and expend on it and forget about it again, because they're not like recurrent expenses. Now for the household shopping, these are kind of recurrent, but they are not fixed items. So I hope you get the picture. So things like random things, for the most time, the household shopping actually goes to Soteria's toys. I'm the one who is on Amazon and sees that, oh, she needs this, and I buy it. Or maybe a hair product, yes, that's hair products for Soteria, and things like that. I'm the one who is holding this money and most times I actually finish it, because like there's always one thing to buy. So maybe we should actually change it to Soteria's toys, so Soteria's items, I don't know. But anyway, that's $500. Now here I have Soteria savings plan, and if you're in Canada, you know that there is a savings plan for your child. The IS you can do, not the IS, there is no IS, but it's advisable you do the IS, so that at the end of the year the government will add up a certain percentage for you. And here we have 300 every month. Then the savings plan, in case you don't know, goes towards when they're like 18 and they want to go to college and all of that. Again, I don't share this much, but it's okay, because again, you're good people. Then we now have miscellaneous, and under here is like the subscriptions. We have $250, and it goes things like Apple, what's it called? It's my husband who handles all these technical things, I don't know, but I know that we have like one Apple subscription, Apple Music, Apple TV, iCloud storage, things like that. There's a major one there actually, and that's why it comes up to $250. But anyway, in total we have $6,021. So let's just say $6,000 every single month. If you're in Nigeria, if you want to convert, don't bother. Me, the moment I entered this land, I said that I'm not gonna convert, and that's why it's always advisable that like you don't, no matter how much savings you bring from like your country, depending on the exchange rate and the country you're coming from, actually it's not advisable to say you want to just rely on your savings. As soon as you can, get the jobs that come to you, a reasonable job that you can do to just, even if you just take care of your expenses, and so that you don't really like touch your savings. Not touch, you have to touch it. Like, we had to pay 6 months up front for this house, you would have to touch it at some point. But I mean, like, you know what I mean. You won't have to meddle or mess up or expend all the funds you bring in from your country, right? So it's always better, like my people will say, owo abula fin shabula lejo. So it's the money you make here, you should spend here, something like that. Then the other, you would obviously have to spend it here, but by the time whatever you're spending it for, it won't be like it is zapping life out of you, like, to make sense. You won't. Now anyway, you guys get the picture. So there actually needs me. Yeah, and the other thing on the futuristic list is Soteria's daycare. Our daycare is actually about $1,400. However, because we're new here and we both are engaged in terms of work, she has access to subsidy. Whenever she chooses to start, then she can access subsidy. I'm actually looking for her to start pretty soon. We're still like dilly-dallying around there, but maybe if she starts, we actually have to pay for starters out of pocket. But eventually, whenever they do approve our subsidy thing, because I know it actually takes a bit of time, then she would have access to the subsidy, and then we can get that off our expense. And it's for 1 year, even though our 1 year will lapse in February. But anyway, that's it. I hope you learned a thing or two. I hope this, hey baby, I hope you learned a thing or two. I hope this video has helped someone in one way or the other. So if you're planning to come here, or if you're here already and you feel like, am I spending too little on that, or am I spending too much on that, I hope this video helped in any way, capacity. And if you did, then I hope it entertained you, just looking at my fine face and then when Soteria came to feature. But yeah, that's it. Please do subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. You guys don't know how happy I am that I got this video out of the way. like, oh. Is that your chair?
What chair?
Why are you bringing your chair to mommy's room? Repeating all I say, no. Did you finish your watermelon? Is it yummy? Do you want some food?
Good.
You want some food? Okay. Mommy's coming, okay? What do you want? She'll say, what do you want? What do you want?